Right then guys, Lambretta vlog time. I'm on my way to work, so it's a bit of a morning vlog time, which you don't usually get. Thanks for the responses to the questions and that on last vid. I guess we could just carry on with them. First off, there was another question that was on the first vid that I forgot to actually address, that said something about where to get parts from and that. And this was actually mentioned in one of the responses from someone else in the thread thing. They're obviously discontinued. There will certainly be a backlog of parts that are like sort of ready to use. But so anyway, I buy parts for this regardless if I need them or not. If I see some bits, like some engine parts, just from the experience of building an engine before and what have you, I know that the entire build can be held up just for something really cheap and really insignificant. But if you haven't got it, you haven't got it. So what I tend to do is if I see these little engine components and little bits, little levers and stuff, little bits of the clutch, whatever, if I see them on eBay and they're quite cheap, I just buy them and then I just keep them in a box, so that when it does come to building another engine and stuff like that, you've got loads of it already there. You've got a lot of the engine already in your possession. So that's what I tend to do with that. Always keep your ear to the ground, as it were. This is when it helps to be in a scooter club. You know, keep your ears open, and if you hear of anyone selling any bits or getting rid of this or that, as is often the case, people just going, oh, clearing the shed out, do you want this? I've got a couple of fuel tanks given and some leg shields and stuff in that way. So if anyone's giving out away, get it. If there's anything really cheap, buy it, would be my advice. But obviously that depends on you having the dough at the time. But that's why I tend to buy little bits, little and often. You know, I've like 12 quid down in a little job lot of, search eBay for job lot of useful parts, and you'll come across the exact same stuff that I look at and that I have a little bid on now and again. So that's that really, that's where you get bits for them. Another question that we had, have you ever had a Vespa? The only Vespa I have ever had is the one that was in the few vids I've got on here that I was actually intending to do up and get on the road. It was a PK50 XL. But when I bought it, it came with a 135 engine. But I never actually got around to it. It's all in the other vids there. I didn't know what I was doing at all with a Vespa. Much the same as I didn't know what I was doing with a Lambretta originally, but I had the added benefit of my dad knowing all about Lambrettas and loads of support from people who I knew. So I got rid of the Vespa. As I've probably mentioned, I ain't got any problems with Vespas whatsoever. I don't care what anyone's got. I just don't give a shit really. Which kind of brings us on to the other question, which was a good question. Any gripes on the scene? Any problems what people do to their scooters? Generally speaking, no. Anyone can do whatever they want with their stuff for me. I don't really care. What does annoy me sometimes is when I'm looking for stuff, looking for bits for sale and that, and you come across things like as Italian GP 200 frames and TV 200 frames and stuff that have been cut down. That would be one of my gripes, I suppose. I'm not interested if anyone, you know, if anyone out there's got a cut down or whatever, then happy days. I'm really happy for you. I've no problem at all with anything that anyone does with a scooter really, but I just think if you were going to cut down a scooter frame, why not do it on just a standard Li 125 or something, or an Indian GP, something that's not really that big a loss. No offence to riders of Li 125s or GPs, Indian GPs or anything, but I mean a TV 200 frame, they're just really rare, really hard to get hold of. And then when you see them for sale and they've been chopped to bits and you think, who the fuck did this, you know, and you just think, what a waste of a scooter potentially. But you know, what can I really say? I think as a general rule, if you're taking a hacksaw or a grinder or anything to a Lambretta to try and improve the way that it looks, I think, you know, the idea, it even just sounds flawed from the start. You know, these scooters have been designed in the 60s in Italy, and they look bloody gorgeous. And I'm sure there's some really skilled metal workers out there and stuff. Well, I know there are, you know, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, to suggest that you can improve upon that design with a grinder in your garage, it just seems very, very unlikely to me that you're gonna end up coming out with anything that looks better than it originally did. And none of these things really concern me. It's just little things that do cause a bit of a niggle sometimes. But anyway, moving on. My first rally that I went to, the first one I went to on the scoot was Brid. I didn't camp over or anything, just rode all the way there on a standard 150 on the A64 and stuff. Up the A64, flat out. Took ages, went with my dad, and he took it nice and steady with me because the other guys were on TS1s and things like that. But so it was Brid, freezing as fuck. Took ages, but it was good. Right, so anyway, I think that sort of covers it. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe and give it a thumbs up and all of that. If you're feeling that way inclined with yourself. Failing that, just have a nice day.